the drum?
No, it's not going round the stuff, and that's not trash down. Yeah, that's not bad, it's a little bit.
Don't see anything.
A little bit there now.
I don't see anything
So
now.
it's fairly wet. That's
Yeah.
all actually bare and wrap.
Yeah, but which?
No, switch fence.
Yeah.
Had that before.
We'll do that field there.
Like it in that job there now.
Yeah. So they're all.
That's fairly well now.
Yeah, no, they're all trashed. Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and today, as you just seen back there, we have started combining. Literally, we're cutting for crimps. We're just on the way back to the yard to pick up the mill, bring it out, so we're ready to harvest. Trailers left up there, so we'll be able to drop the header pond trailer, drag it into the field, and we'll be ready to go. That's the plan. Combining away.
Combine harvest 2020.
Yeah. So currently cutting the field of wheat. I'll explain more later on. Just a bit of pressure at the minute, even though pressure is just for tyres, just to get set up that we're ready to start taking grain as soon as the combine is ready to unload. So yeah, we'll get sorted and then we'll talk a bit more about what. So the mill, or cross superior, I don't know, it's a superior mill anyways. It's on the 6499. Why, you may be asking? My father wants to give the big tractor a go on the mill, see what fuel usage it does, and mill in economy. That's kind of the plan. So we'll bring up the mill, even though we don't need that many horses to run this mill, it doesn't take it. But it's just to see how the big tractor handles the mill, and in economy what kind of litres per hour we end up using. So we'll just be on up and we just get set up. That's the whole thing, just get set up and be ready to take it. And then when it comes time to actually taking it, that's when things kind of slow down a bit, because it just takes time to combine and process and that. So it becomes a little bit easier, especially when we're right beside home. It's nice and handy. So we get up into the field. So already encountering issues.
Huh?
We're already encountering issues. It's trashing grain there. Lovely. Is that the only one then?
That's the only one that's tipping. Oh, there's just they want tipping or.
Yeah, I heard you go. I heard it going round. I heard it.
And I knew it was a slow tip then.
Yeah. Yeah. mine is going. You seen we just had a little issue there. My father put on new bars, I can't think of the right name of them, for the elevator for the trunk pulling in, and one of them was too long and never copped it, so I just cut off the bit, and it's working away fine. Now we're crimping away and that's going fine. That has to be watched like a child, because the grain, this isn't dry grain, we're not cutting this as dry grain, this is damp, purposely cut damp for the crimping so we can ensile it in a pit. I'll show you when we bring it into the yard the tip. Well, I mean, we literally ensile it in a pit outside if you don't know what crimping is. But because the grain is moist, it's damnable stuff for blocking the crimper, especially the elevator, taking it out from underneath. And you have to watch it like a child, because if it goes to start, you can get it shut off the feed and it'll clear itself. And in case the belt starts slipping the belts, then you need to be there to shut it down properly, so it doesn't become a big job trying to get it going again. But yeah, one other downsides to the crimp is the straw. The straw, as you can see, there's grain in it. It's not dry. There's no way dry. This straw has to be reared like hay. It's not too bad. The crop isn't over thick. You can see there where we are. I think it's a bit better the other side, but this end of the field, it's not the best crop. It's a bit thin of itself. But when we get into the heavier, longer crops of straw, it's very hard to get this straw dry because it has to be reared. It's like hay. It's like trying to rear a 20-foot swath of hay. Very hard to do. Keep going. The slowest part of the process at the minute is the crimper, because the combine can harvest quicker than the crimper's able to process. The reason we do it like this is so that we can process it in the field, tipped in the yard, finished, push it up, roll it, finish. Otherwise, we'll be bringing the loads of grain home, tipping it, then having to process and roll it and do everything as well in the yard. We find this way easier, more straightforward. So there's additive going in on the grain in the blue box on the side. I can't really talk beside it because everything is very loud. One actually thing I've already seen with the 6499 on the mill, it's actually a whole lot quieter than using any of the other tractors. Probably because it's an eco. But also, this video is sponsored by AgriLine Tractor Parts and Accessories for all your bits and bobs that you need. I've actually bought quite a lot of stuff off them in the last while, and I've seat covers, and when I get a chance I'm going to put them on to the 6499. The one for the 6290, I have a new bottom cushion for it. I want to get that palm before I put the seat cover on. A lot of people told me to get seat covers, it will stop all the upholstery getting wore. So I finally decided I'd go and do it, and I bought the seat cover. So we'll look at that later. There'll be a link in the description down below to their AgriLine seat covers for the website, and also highly recommend getting whatever you need. But if you're needing anything at all, there's a phone number and an email address. Hit them up, they look after you. The website has just huge amount of stuff. So it is. Anyways, I may get back to this because we're ready to start processing again. So now, we're on our way back to the yard with the first load of crimp cut, and so done is now. Just don't have a second trailer ready. Father says it'll be alright. So I'll get back to the yard, tip will come straight back up, then I'll get in the Jeep, go back, recruit a crew together, get the plastic up on the pit, get the plastic on the walls of the pit, and get that all sealed up nice and neatly, and then do a little push up and roll on with the telly, and then go back up and be ready for the next load. So yeah, that's how we're just going to run it. We're literally right beside the yard, like if it was any closer, you can nearly put an elevator straight from the field. It's right beside home, so. Anyways, I'm a devil for always thinking, what are people going to be asking me in videos, and then I try and answer them. But some of the things, trailer, you're probably saying it's well shook. Yes, it's well shook. I didn't actually realise it was that bad. We patched up a lot of holes with some silicone, as you do. And I know I say it a lot of the time, but this winter we're going to do it. We're going to strip it down and put it all back nice and neatly. That's the plan. Never really happens, but I'm going to say that's the plan. So yeah, the trailer is a wee bit shook. It's quite worse than I thought it was, now, to be perfectly honest. Also, I need to, when I go home, shave and get rid of some of this tonight, because it is full of chaff. I should have done it last night. Should just got rid of all, but I forgot. The weather has been really bad the last while. Pathetic. We've actually had some of our crops have gone down. We've spring oats gone down. Yeah, so that's great. About 20 acres. So that'll be interesting to get cut. And what we're going to do with it, I don't know. I haven't decided. I went down in the last storm Francis, or I don't know. I can't keep up with all these storms, but yeah, I was in one of the last storms that went down, so that's fun. So this is where we're going to put it. The crimp is a crimp pit. The plan is to fill this to the lugs. We have 35 acres out there in 3 fields that we'll be cutting for crimp, and we'll also cut some of the crops that we had left to one side for cutting dry, but we won't have the full of the crimp this year. So we'll cut the 35 acres. If we need to cut any more, we'll go into some of the next ground and crimp whatever we need just to fill the pit out full. Just really and truly, it's just to stop the water going down between the walls and the plastic. Just let it all go off. How's the crop yielding? Crop is yielding all right for how thin it is. The crop is quite thin, but a superb head on the crop and great grain. So it's bulking up and it's yielding not too bad now. We're happy enough with it. It's coming in there 33% moisture, which is perfect for crimping. If you need it at that stage for crimping, if I can remember rightly, it's because it's the sugar, the grain is full of sugar at the minute, or it's in the process of going from, when it ripens it changes the sugar to starch, and for it to preserve right in the silo you need it to be more sugar than starch, especially with additives. So for the additive to work, to use the sugar, it's a bit like fermenting silage. You need your good sugars, and that's why you cut at that stage when it's high moisture and not ripe. You try and cut ripe grain for crimp, you need to add water, and it just doesn't preserve right. It's not the same. So that's why we're cutting it like that. But anyways, what I was saying about the crop, because it's yielding, we're happy enough with how it's yielding. And then on the other side, because it's thin, where we are at the minute is thin. I don't know what the rest of it's like from memory, I can't just remember, but it's thin enough where we are. But one of the things about that, there's not as much straw in the 20-foot row, so it should be easier to rear. So the plan will be tomorrow, if it blows up into a good evening, that we might get my brother out to roll it, and when he has it rolled, then we'll be able, or not, what am I saying, rolling, we'll get my brother out to turn it, and when he gets it turned, that should help dry it out, and we'll be able to go baling then hopefully Sunday. That's kind of the plan, that we'll be able to bale Sunday and get it done. We'll be harvesting Sunday. I know we don't normally work on a Sunday, but with the way the weather is, and harvest every day, every dry minute needs to be made the most of, so we'll be working Sunday if it's dry. But anyways, we get back in here now beside the mill, and it probably would have been easier to just drive round, but anyways, we're back in, and then we get rolling again. now, inside the belly of the beast. So, we can see here, you see, litres an hour. 9.3 litres an hour is all we're burning, which is, I think, is quite good now. That's I think the crimper can roll about, well, in crimp it's probably less, but in normal circumstances it's about between 10 and 15 tonne an hour, so it's less than a litre of a tonne. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So anyways, we'll do what I said I was going to do next, but between hopping and trotting and whatnot, I had to get another tractor and trailer, so I pulled the 3075 and Fergal out. Both badly need a wash, especially the trailer. It's green, but it was clean from last year, everything was fine, I just put on. So yeah, hopefully I'll get that washed in between loads, because as you can see there, it takes a few minutes just to fill a load. But anyways, so this is what I bought from Agriland. A seat cover, a Grammar seat cover, the big ones. So this should fit onto this. This is the plan. You can see it is just starting to go there and there. And after buying one of these base cushions for that tractor, this is a heck of a lot cheaper. A heck of a lot cheaper than the cushion. And then if you want to buy the whole seat, well, you nearly have to take out a loan to buy a seat. The seats are really expensive, the proper massey seats, Grammar seats. But seat cover off Agriland, there's a link in the description down below if you want to get one. So we'll just pop this on now. I bought one for all the tractors in the fleet. I just haven't got around to putting them all on. I bought So now, that is the seat cover on. Looks the job. Quite hard to put on. Well, when I say hard, it takes a bit of figuring out. So it does, but that should keep the upholstery right now. We won't have to be changing cushions anytime soon. And also, yeah, I put on the steering wheel, and then the steering wheel just went with the weight of the thing. But anyways, I gotta go change the battery in the GoPro, and we'll go see how we're getting on. Probably we'll work till the juice stops us, pretty much, and we'll go from there. we're cut for today. I think I think it's gone too damp. The dew has come down and it's just the extra moisture has just brought it that it's sticking in the combine, so we have to stop. So it's a great start. Half that field cut, or so my father reckons. Anyways, that's it for today. So we'll pick this up again tomorrow and we'll make another one of these epic long videos of getting the crimp done, and then we'll do another combining video when we're going and dry combining, and maybe another one after that when we're using the vintage combine, because my father has purposefully left about 2 acres to be cut for himself. So yeah, that's it for today. We'll pick it up in the morning. So there's a bit more than what I thought last night. That's why we stopped. The tensioner broke on the elevator there, so the tensioner broke, so it left everything loose. That's what happened, and it turns out then afterward the chain had stretched. That it? He's busy counting. It's a new chain now to go in and get going. A bit later of a start than we had it planned. It's threatening rain. It kind of doesn't know where it wants to rain or not at the minute. It's a couple of spills there earlier in the day, but I'm just ready now to go turn straw with the woofler and the owl ursus. Could have done with giving both yokes a wash, but yeah, anyways, we'll go turn straw and hopefully the combine will be up soon after me. Now, in the field, as you can see, there's the Halloween theme is always going on in this tractor. This is the ursus is in it. It's our what could you say, respite period, because there's no cattle in being diet fed, so the diet feeder's not running, so it's not being used. So we just check to see how this is looking, to see is it close enough to the ground for turning. So you probably want to be a little bit closer to the ground, so we'll have to screw up them to let them close, let the wheels down, so that should turn the straw. This is the straw, dry, all on top, all of that on top, perfect, ready to bail. But it's the bit underneath, it's this bit stuff underneath here. It's not wet, it's just damp. It's damp, it's like a dew fell damp. So if that got turned, I'd say we'll be bailing by this evening. That's the plan. So we have up. So, just said we'd have a look after turning just a handful of lines there. Just have a look at what's done. One of the things with that machine, you make any little movements at all, it throws it. You can see it just completely throws it out of the way. Oh, we'll just have a look here. Yeah, all that really does, it just lifts it up and it tosses it and leaves it nice and open, nice and airy for the wind to get in at it. You can see there, it's just these little bits of greenery, little bits of green stuff like that. That's dried out, but just it's nice and windy today, nice breeze out. The sun was splitting the stones to be better, but with the wind, that wind out, that'll dry out very quick, especially when we woof, like air it up. It'll dry out quite quick. I'd be hoping everything that we combined yesterday we'll get bailed this evening. That's kind of the plan. Also, you may notice, still have this. Yeah, I kind of, you get home minutes late, you kind of just can't be bothered to shave. But and then when the hair, I was told I get shaved at the weekend, and it is the weekend, so maybe I might get done tonight and try and get this done tonight too. It's always a pain just trying to get around everything. But anyways, We get back in our Ursus Deluxe 4512 Ursus Deluxe and our Euro swat machine. Really could have done with giving everything a wash. So, combine is back in action now. Nearly have the straw all turned. Just 2 more runs around the headlands, but now the combine's running. It's get the mill up, get the trailer up. Have one trailer up, 3075 on the the Fergal. Have it washed. You're okay? Have it washed, so it's not looking too bad. Anyways, we're going to get the rest of the kit up. Any words? Any comments?
No, I just machinery. That's common.
Comments, machinery.
And sprockets go down the line. Not good.
It's all back right though, yeah.
Well, it's as good as we can get with what we have at the minute. I'd like to have it better, but look at
it'll run, it will.
Well, the chain stayed on, so.
Right. Hopefully it doesn't come off. Right, we'll go get the mill and we get back up there. So, should have had the camera out when me and my father were talking. I didn't. Actually, after turning the straw there, he thinks it's good enough. The way he put it was, which is better, no half a loaf or no bread. You know, it's not perfect, but we've baled worse. That's how it is. The bit of green that's in it, that's dead. It's the sap has gone over. It's literally slight, not just as crispy as you'd like it, but it's not bad. Combine in the way, so I'm gonna go back to Ursus, turn the last 2 headlands. The driver's putting on the baler there in the 3690, and he come up and then I'll chat and see whether he wants to bail or he wants to draw down the crimp. Let him do one, I'll do the other. We get a lot of bales made. I get my bro, we'll pop up the drone, get the baler and the combine and all into one field. Good, you know yourself, good old video. And then probably tomorrow we'll video Ursus with the drone when we're doing more of it, because once I get these 2 runs done, that's all we'll do. We won't be baling what we're cutting now, because that just needs time. What we got combined yesterday, that'll all bale, but what we're combining now won't be fit. So yeah, wrong side, there's no handle on that side. Oh, me good old Ursus. Needs mud guards, needs a lot of things, but it works today. It feeder 100%. 100%. Anyways, we're gonna get last of this turn. We get baling, we get combining, and I think I will split this. We'll stop this video about halfway, and then we'll make 2 parts of this. So it'll be the first half, day and a half, and then the second half, it'll be a day and a half a day, and then the full day tomorrow on Sunday. And that'll be the crimping. Hopefully we get all done tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed, no more breakdowns in between this evening and tomorrow. We should be able to get the next 2 fields cut. That's kind of the plan. So we'll split the video and we'll take it from there. Anyways, we'll go start this girl up. So, just said while we're coming up this side, we'll have a look at the crop at this end of the field. There's also something quite interesting here too. So you can see it still is, it's a thin crop, but there's a nice head of wheat on it, and it's yielding all right. We're happy enough how it's yielding. But just something I seen coming up here, can you spot the difference? You can see the line there, and then into this crop here, 2 different varieties of wheat. It was actually quite hard to get wheat seed this spring. Very little of it to be got, so we just got whatever we could get. And this is where you can see there was 1 variety sown, there's a different variety zone. You can see all this is kind of, heads are all lying over, nice big bushy head. And you can see then All of this variety has a tiny bit of a longer bit of a beard to it. You can see all them spikes coming out of it. Awns, I can't think of the right word, but you can see them. And you look at this crop, they're not as much. So yeah, that's just interesting. Don't ask me what the varieties were. I cannot remember for the life of me what the varieties of wheat we sowed were. But yeah, that's just where the two different varieties were sown. You can see the slight difference in them. Anyways, I get this last run round here done. You never just realize how beautiful a tractor is till you're outside of it watching someone else work it. Fill out a load now. It's kind of nice not having to shovel it this year. Excuse the dirt. We might sort that out when we get back to the yard. Give her a wee wash after our last day's activities. Everything's going fierce well at the minute. Baler is baling away. 3619 diffusion, looking beautiful. Straw yield very poor, very poor. I often seen over 200 bales on this field. I'd say they'll type be 80 bales, but at the rate he's going. The yield at the minute, we'll talk a bit more about exact yields or what we think towards the end of the video. But you can see, father said it, the difference when I showed earlier between the two varieties. The variety that we were cutting was yielding way better than the variety that was the next step on, like the next run, next two runs. That variety is yielding poorer than the first variety. So we'll see. We'll see if my father can remember what varieties they are, and we'll talk about the yields and that later on in the video with him. But for now, it's all go. It's all go. this field is just about finished. I have to go open up, well, when I say open up a gap, I have to use the hedge knife and just trim back the edges just so that we can see the header will fit through, but just so we can see where the stumps are in the hedge so that we can get through without running into anything. Straw yield incredibly poor, but also I should have this camera tied to my arm and not be able to put it down, because it seems that every time I put it down somewhere and then I end up chatting to my father Phil, about what we're going to do next, what's the best plan of attack. Perfect YouTube material, but I don't have the bloody camera in my hand and I can't say, hold on a second, run, go get it. No, start again. Can't do that. But we've decided, and we're going to keep building, go build the whole field. We're not going to leave it like I said earlier. Just on how the crop is, it's actually quite, it's not bad now. I've built worse. It has what I call a cold damp. It's not that it's wet damp, like you rub it to pull your hands out and you can feel like your hands are wet. It's just got that cold dampness about it. We reckon it to be okay. We're not selling any straw. It's all going into the shed because mill peat is going to get a lot harder to get a hold of and a lot more expensive. So we're going to be bedding with a lot less mill peat than we normally do, which is kind of annoying, but we're going to have to get straw blower going in the yard, and we're going to need to keep a lot more straw than we normally do. So if it did go a little bit fusty on us, we might have ourselves to blame. It's not wet enough that's go like raw or anything. It may go a little bit fussy, it may not. It's kind of hanging in the balance, but I'd probably hedge my bets that it shouldn't. But anyways, look, that's going to be it for today's video, even though yes, we're still cutting and we'll be starting the next field, but I'm going to leave that for the next video. I'm splitting the videos purely because for the next 2 odd weeks while we're trying to get all the harvest done, the 35 acres that's here, and then the what's after that, there's 10 and 14 and 20, there are another 60 acres to be done after that for dry combining. Until we get that done, that's all we're literally going to be doing. There'll be odd jobs going on, but nothing, you know, video worthy, nothing real major. So I'm going to split the video just to keep the content fresh and keep it coming. So we're going to leave it at that for today's video. Make sure to check out AgriLine tractor parts and accessories to get yourself seat covers. Link is in the description down below. Huge range of stuff for all different makes, brands and tractors, modern or classic, especially the classic and vintage stuff. They have a world of stuff on that. Well worth checking out. Links in the description down below. Give them a ring, hit them an email if there's something you can't find on the website, and they'll look after you as best they can. And that is it for me. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Good luck.